G'day all again, and welcome back to Dad vs Son and our playthrough of the Battle Pack 1 Paratroopers from GMT and Chad's Combat Commander. And we're about to go on with Scenario 25A, Fields of Fire. But before we do, I just want to point out that I have been doing wire wrong. It was pointed out to me by, I think it was Rob Stye or Stay. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. And I've been entering wire correctly, where you enter wire, boom, movement is over. But I've been missing that when you leave wire, movement is over as well. So you can only move that one hex and that's it. So apologies for that, and I will try and remember that, along with everything else that I've been screwing up. But this scenario, there's a 25A we're going on with, and then followed by 25B. So this is the AM, and then follows on with the PM of the same battle. This is a scenario designed by Will Green. He designed both of them. And it uses map 25 for both because it's a continuation of the same battle. And this one is Situation Report, the Ghost Front, Lanzerath, Germany, morning of the 16th of December 1944. Regimental Order number 54 was given to the 1st Company, 9th Regiment of the 3rd Fallschirmjäger Division. The unit was instructed to clear Lanzerath and other villages in and around the Loschheim Gap of enemy resistance. Apologies, I don't think my tongue's working properly this morning. This was to prepare the way for Joachim Peiper's 1st SS Panzer Division, recently outfitted with 30 King Tigers, to storm through the front without delay. As US soldiers were needed to defend this lightly held area, an intelligence and recon platoon of 18 men, trained to be the eyes and ears of a division belonging to the American 394th Regiment, 99th Division, was placed on the front line near the small hamlet of Lanzerath, which overlooked Loschheim further east. Their orders were to observe the area and provide warning of enemy action. From the woods, looking down a gently sloping, snow-covered field leading down to Lanzerath, these men had improved their positions with overlapping logs, creating a solid defensive bunker with good fields of fire. As a German column was seen marching through Lanzerath, a young girl ran out of a house and approached the German officer, speaking excitedly while pointing in the INR platoon's general direction. The German commander barked an order and the troops dove for the ditches lining the road. Lieutenant Baux yelled out, "Open fire!" and the Battle of the Bulge began for this handful of men. Okay, so we'll just go through the normal, and then I'm going to go through the historical notes and the special rules for this. So again, we're in 1944. The VP marker stays all the way up there, 20 on the Allies' side. The Allies are line with 2 orders. The Germans are line with 4 orders. Time starts at 0 with sudden death at 7. The Allies are recon. The Germans are attack. And again, we are not using the initiative card. The only open objective is U, which puts every objective worth 3 VP. The Allies have no hidden objective. The Germans have 1, and it is unlooked at, again for fog of war. The Allies set up first 9 hexes deep from the north, and the Axis last 1 hex deep from the south. The Allies control all objectives to start with, and the Axis none. Okay. Troop-wise, the Germans have Lieutenant Schrader, Feldman Biermann, Corporal Schmidt, 3 parachute squads, 4 Volksgrenadier squads, 2 conscript squads, 2 green teams, and 3 light machine guns. The Americans have Lieutenant Ray, Lieutenant Thomas, 4 line teams, 1 50 cal and 3 medium machine guns, a bunker, 2 trenches, 3 foxholes, and a number of mines. Right, so just looking at the special rules. All special rules below are applicable to both scenarios 25A and B. So, reinforced platoon. If the Allied player gets the reinforcement event, ignore it and reveal a new event. So the Americans are not getting any reinforcements this time. 2, reinforced company. In scenario 25B, blah, 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 forget about that. Last line of defense. During setup, Allied player may place mines in any number of hexes adjacent to friendly teams. Immediately after any mine attack is made, remove the mine counter from the map. And I've done that. Morning barrage. After the American setup, but prior to German setup, each player shuffles his fate deck and then draws 5 random hexes. First, remove any fortification in any of these 10 hexes and then play foxholes in them. Reshuffle the decks after drawing. And I've done that, and I'll show you what came of that in a while. Expendable fanatics. German conscript squads and green teams are worth 0 VPs. So I can kill them off, but it doesn't do me any good. So they'll go against their casualty track, but I don't get any VPs for them. 6, secure the area. We do not add objectives W or X. I've removed them. To the draw cup, Axis player may not gain exit VPs if he controls fewer than 3 of the map board objectives. Otherwise, if the Axis player is currently in control of 3 or more objectives, he may voluntarily exit the map as normal. 7, snowy slope. The move cost for open ground is 1.5 instead of 1. So that's going to slow the Germans down a bit. And all German forces listed in this scenario are also used in the next scenario. Righto, and that just goes on for there. So the historical notes, so that we can bring it into context of why it's set up the way it's set up. Lieutenant Book's platoon was comprised of only 18 men. Just as the battle was about to begin, Lieutenant Warren Springer and several additional men drove up in a jeep. These men were hastily assigned to fighting positions, thus the second leader and extra team in the American order of battle. Vastly outnumbered throughout the day, this group of soldiers was all that was available to hold off the relentless German assaults. Last line of defense. Because of the abundant fragmentation grenades, the American troops placed them on pull lines as a last point of defense. So that's basically the mines. Morning barrage. The Germans unleashed a 90-minute rolling barrage at 5:30 a.m. While it had little impact on the defending forces, it did create numerous small craters usable as cover for the advancing German forces, and that's where these foxholes come into play. Expendable fanatics. Despite the advantages of the American defensive position, the Germans continued to attack across the open field with devastating results for the paratroopers. Throughout the day, the Germans attempted 3 separate concerted assaults at Lieutenant Book's positions, and the Americans repulsed them each time. By late afternoon, hundreds of German soldiers lay dead in the snow. Secure the area. The German forces were primarily tasked with crushing, not bypassing, enemy strong points where possible. As it happened, after 18 hours of battle, the American platoon had put a halt to the primary mission of the paratroopers, which was to rapidly break through the US front and allow armoured units of the German main effort, the 6th Panzer Army, immediate access to open roads towards the Meuse River. Snowy slope. This gives an indication of the difficulty of moving up these sloped fields covered in fresh snow. In addition to the poor training and overall lack of preparation for the conscripted German troops, and though the paratroop division was ostensibly elite, the battlefield prowess of the units comprising the division at this point in the war had been greatly diminished, and that's why they are line. German arrival. The 3rd Parachute Division had been marching since 5:30 a.m. Initially, they advanced under artificial moonlight, created by massive searchlights that lit up the clouds and reflected the light back to Earth. They started out for Belgium, crossed the Siegfried Line, and passed through Lochheim, with the initial forces arriving in Landsrath about 8 a.m. Further troops were moved into the line just prior to the main afternoon attack, thus the German reinforcement order of battle used in Scenario 25B. Armoured Jeep. The 50 cal machine gun was mounted on a Jeep that was welded with defensive shield plating from 57mm anti-tank artillery. The Americans dug a hole around it and camouflaged it with fallen trees, thus the bunker in the American order of battle. Armed to the teeth. The American forces at Landsrath had not only been augmented with 2 machine guns and plentiful amounts of ammunition and grenades, but several Browning automatic rifles as well. The extra MGs in the American order of battle represent the added range and firepower these BARs provided. Entrenchments. Because the 2nd Infantry Division had already been through this area, there was an abundance of foxholes for Lieutenant Book's recon platoon. The GIs had 5 days in which to prepare the defences, giving them plenty of time to reinforce these foxholes with logs and camouflage. Thus, the trenches and bunker in the American order of battle. Right-o. So, this is how I set things up. Okay, let's get this right. For some reason, it's gone out of kilter a bit. Let me just fix this. That's betterish. Righto. So the Americans, I have Lieutenant Ray up here in the bunker with a line team and the 50 cal. I've put foxholes in between them, and then I've put a trench with a line team and the one of the medium machine guns. This way, that gives them a fallback option through foxholes and back into the trees and towards Objective 5. I was allowed to put mines around any team, which I've done. This used to be mines. It got sorry, that was a foxhole. Sorry. So I had mines all around here. This was mines and turned into a foxhole from the artillery. Over here, I've got Lieutenant Thomas with, again, a line team and a medium machine gun, and a gun in trench. And here for foxholes, the other line team with the medium machine gun, so that they can keep an eye on this area here and down along this fence line. These guys can keep an eye, a field of fire all down this way and covering off this escape route here. Again, I have mines across the whole front, but this one was turned into foxholes. This one was turned into foxholes, and this one was turned into foxholes. This one was foxholes, again giving them an egress route out through there. We ended up with extra foxholes here, 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 and here. The Germans I've set up into 3 command elements, 3 platoons as such. I've got Sergeant Bierman over here with the actual 3 parachute squads, a green team with a light machine gun. They are going to try and come up through this foxholes area, take these guys out, move up into these foxholes, take them out hopefully, and they'll take objectives 2 and 3 if possible. At the same time, Corporal Schmidt here will move into the buildings and take objective 4. And if we can take those 3 objectives, then we can start shuttling troops off. He has 2 conscripts and a Volksgrenadier squad with a light machine gun. Lieutenant Schrader has 3 Volksgrenadiers with the other green team and the other light machine gun to move up. There's a track up through these buildings here, which leads up to this fence line. And hopefully they can get up into sort of this area here, lay down fire into these guys, and then diddly bop off so they can come back through as reinforcements. So that's the cunning plan anyway. Righto, so let's get into it. So Germans are attacking, get 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Americans are recon and get 5, 4, 5. Again, there are no defenders, so I don't need to look at things for defender-only stuff. Okay, Germans are going to start with command, confusion, recover, artillery, fire, and rout. So they've got a lot of useless cards as such. Recover's good. 2 artillery requests. Nobody has any artillery this time or mortars. Fire and rout. So nothing to move. So if we look from a fire point of view, none of these people have line of sight to anything. And none of these people have line of sight to anything. So we can't fire. We don't need to recover. There's nobody to rout. I'm going to get rid of the rout, the confusion, and the 2 artillery requests. The marksman would be handy, but it's a dead card at the moment. So 4 new cards for the Germans. And we're over to the Americans, who have a move, artillery request, advance, artillery request, and rout. Okay, so again, they don't really want to move. Concealment may come in handy, but at the moment, it doesn't really matter. Artillery, again, doesn't do anything. Again, there's no routing to be done, and we don't want to advance. The sustained fire would be handy in case we see any of these buggers turning up. So I'm actually going to keep that. And I think that's it at the moment. That'll do. And they will get 4 new cards. And we're back to the Germans. Hopefully they can move this time. Let's see what they've got. They've picked up a move, a command confusion, a fire, and an artillery request. So I think they've got to move this time, simple as that. So we shall move. And what I think we're going to do first up is we're going to move our people that are nice and safe. So we're going to move Lieutenant Schrader and his people. So this guy will go 1, 2 to here. Now the trail is a movement of 1. So he's gone 2, 3. He can't go any further because it's only got a movement of 4. Schrader's going to follow up with a 2, 4, and that's it. And these guys will follow up for 2, 4, and 2, 4. And this little fella here is going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. And that's their move. There is nothing else they can do at the moment, but at least they've started to move. They get 1 new card, and the Americans have their advance, rout, fire, recover, and command confusion. So again, I'm going to keep the recover and the fire. I'm keeping the advance at the moment for the sustained fire, and I'm going to get rid of these 2. And again, the advance may be used for an advance to the rear. if need be. So that's why I'm keeping that. And we have 3 new cards for them. And we haven't moved in the clear yet, so it doesn't, well, see, the track is 1, so that's not a clear as such. Okay, Germans, recover, 2 fires, command confusion, artillery, and artillery. So we're going to get rid of the 2 artillery requests and the command confusion, and they'll get 3 new cards. Americans, recover, fire, advance. Oops, I got them 1 too many cards. And they get a rout and a fire. So again, we'll keep the fire, we'll get rid of the rout, and they'll get 1 new card. Germans, recover and 2 fires and pick up a fire, a command confusion, and a rout. So again, we'll get rid of these 2. They'll get 2 newbies. And the Americans have picked up an artillery denied, so they're going to get rid of that. And I think we're going to get rid of the advance now as well. And we'll get 2 new cards. And the Germans, with their recover and 3 fires, have picked up a fire and an artillery denied. I am going to get rid of one of their fires, the demolitions one. I don't care about that at the moment, and the artillery denied. The other ones, they've got 2 fires with an ambush and fire with the smoke grenades, which may come in handy for the paratroops. So 2 new cards for the Germans, and the Americans picked up another fire and a rout. I'm going to get rid of the fire with smoke grenades. I'm going to keep the fire with ambush, and I'm going to get rid of the rout. Spray fire is good, but yeah. Germans, recover, 3 fires, and they pick up 2 more fires. Yay! Sugar. Okay, so the no quarters no good until they've actually assaulted and advanced on somebody, and it's another ambush, and I've already got 2 ambushes and a smoke grenades, which I want to keep. So these 2 fires are going to go. And the Germans get 2 newbies, and the Americans have picked up a fire and a recover. So I'm going to get rid of the fire with smoke grenades on it. That leaves me a fire with light wounds and a fire with ambush, and they get 1 new card. And the Germans get a move and a recover, so they're going to move. Okay, so where do I want to move this time? And I think we just keep moving these guys up at the moment. So this guy's going to go 2, 4. There's no line of sight. And these guys will go 2, 4. And this guy will go 2, 3 to there. Just to keep them all together. Okay, so that's their move. They can't fire because the fences cut the line of sight. So they get 1 new card. We're over to the Americans. 2 fires, 2 recovers, and a fire. And again, we're going to get rid of this fire with the smoke grenades and give them 1 newbie. And then we're over to the Germans, who have picked up another move to go with their 3 fires and 2 recovers. Okay, so these guys are now set. The best thing for them now would be an advance, so they can advance up into a firing position without getting shot at. Or, yeah, that's probably it. So we could move these guys up. If this guy moves up into here, we now have line of sight from a medium machine gun to him. Nothing up this way. These guys up to here. Again, we have line of sight from the medium machine gun to him. And this guy could come up to here and then into maybe the foxholes. So that's what we're going to do. So this conscript will move to here for 2, like that. We have line of sight down here. We have a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's in range. We have 6 firepower, plus 1 is 7, and nothing for the little fella there. So we have 7 down into there. But we have a hindrance of 3, which means we only get 4 firepower. So we shall fire. Opportunity fire for 4. Excuse me. Oh, plus 12, 16, and time. Okay, so we go up to time 1. There are no VPs because we do not have a defender. We have no smoke. We have no reinforcements. So that only really leaves us with dig-ins, of which neither side has any. So we'll just shuffle up the yank. 1. Do a bit of... There we go. Bit of tweezer music, forceps tunes, and we're firing for 16 into here. The Germans have nothing to help with it. This guy's in here for 6, and 3 is 9, and 4 and is hit. These 2 guys move up into here for 2, and again, because we have these guys firing, this guy can fire. No, he can't because we have a fence here. Nobody can see them. Nobody has line of sight. So they've gone 2 to there. They can move a total of 5 together. They've also taken objective 4 now, which, as we know, is worth 3 VP. So the Americans will lose 3 down to 17. The Germans will gain 3 down to 14. Right. Now, these guys could move forward another one, but at the moment, again, I want to keep everybody together. So this guy's going to move up into the orchard, which is a 1. And then he's going to move into the foxholes for 3. So 2 more. So he's in there for 3, which is his movement. And again, we have no line of sight. So the American fire is finished. The move is finished. The Germans are going to use their recover to recover this guy. He's there for 8. It's 12. So he's stuffed. We go to time 2. Okay, so again, we have no smoke. We have no defender. We have no dig-ins. And it's not sudden death. Okay. And the Germans can't do anything else because these guys can't do anything and nobody has line of sight for fire. So they get 2 new cards. And we're back to the Americans who have 2 recovers, a fire, and a rout. So we're going to try and rout that conscript. So he's in there for 5, and 3 is 8. And we get a 7, not quite enough. And an event, which is interrogation. Look at your opponent's hand. You may select 1 card there, place it in the discard pile. So the Germans have a recover, 3 fires, a move, and a move. So I'm going to get rid of their recover. Done. The Americans could fire, and we could try and take this guy out. He's not worth any points, but he is worth a casualty on their surrender, their casualty track. But I think I'm going to save fire for opportunity fire. So 2 new cards for the Americans, and we're over to the Germans with 2 moves and 3 fires. So I think the first move we're going to do is going to be our little friends here. So this guy is going to go 2 to here. And there is no line of sight to him. And then he is going to go 2 to there. That's 4. And he takes objective 2. And again, the Americans lose 3 BP down to 11. The Germans gain 3 BP down to 8 American victory points. We now have fire into here if we wish, and we wish. So we are going to opportunity fire. And we have a range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So everything can fire except for him. So we're going to fire for, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down into here, there's no hindrance. So we have 10 fire. Yep. Plus 9, 19. Happy with that. And this guy is in here for 8, and 2 is 10, minus 1 is 9 due to the road. And they have nothing to help. 9 and 6 is 15, and he's hit. These guys will now move up, and they go 2, 4 into here. And again, we fire for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 into here. This guy has hindrance though. And that's a hindrance of 3. So maybe I don't want to fire with him. Because that'll take me to 7. And if I fire with just these, I'll have 6, 7, 8 into here. So we're just going to fire with these ones into here for 8. Like that. And we are going to spray fire this time. And we'll fire into both of these. So it's just 8 into both. Like this. Plus 6, 14. Okay, so we'll do this guy first. Again, he's there for 8, and 1 is 9. And 5 is 14. He wasn't moving this time. So he is suppressed. This guy's here for 6, 7, and 3 is 10. Minus 1 is 9. Plus 11, he's good. 8, 9, 12, minus 1 is 11. And he's good. And 8 and 3 is 11. Minus 1 is 10. And 8, and he's good. Righto, so spray fire can go away now. We still have this guy to move. And he's going to go... is that what he wants to do? No. He's going to go 2, 4 to there. Like that. Yeah. Okay, in which case nobody can shoot at him. Opportunity fire is over. Move order is complete. Sorry, I'll leave that there. So the next one will be a move again for their second order. And this time they are going to move these gentlemen here, Lieutenant Schrader and his people. Now, not to do this. Okay, before we go anywhere, I am going to get... Nobody has... Can't use smoke grenades on them, only with these. Okay. This little one is going to come up here for 1, moving along the track. And he can now be seen by this little fella here and this little fella here. So the Americans are going to fire, opportunity fire again. They're going to fire with the 50 cal, I believe, which gives them 9, 10, 11, 12 into here with no hindrance. So 12 plus 8 is 20. And this poor little fella is here for 7 and 2 is 9. I don't believe he loses anything for the track at all. Cover -1. No, that was on the road, Dicky Wacker. No, there's nothing. Okay, so he's in there for 7, 8, 9. Because the woods give him better cover than the fence does anyway. Righto, so 9 and 3. It's 12 and he's hit. Oops, sorry. Okay, so he's not going any further. These guys are just going to move over to here. There is nothing to be seen, and this guy will move over to here as well. Like that. And that's their 2 of that. That's the opportunity fire finished. The Germans have 3 fire orders left, but these 2 groups have both moved. That only leaves these guys who don't have anything to shoot at. So 3 new cards for the Germans. And we're over to the Americans who have a recover and a rout. So we're going to try and rout them. And we're going to try and rout this guy first. And he's in there for 6 and 2 is 8. And we get a 7, which is no good. And the American event is air support. Determine a random hex. You may break all units in the occupied hex closest to the random hex. And the random hex is B6. Okay, so B6. This is the closest, so we can break him. Thinks he's right on the hex. Okay, and then we have this guy here for 5 and 3 is 8. We get a 6 and nothing happens there either. Americans can't do anything more. We get 4 new cards for them. And we will stop it there and come back with the next video. So as things stand, the Germans are moving up the American right flank, slowly coming forward in the center, and have come forward in the American left flank. They've taken objective 2 and they've taken objective 4, which has effectively cost the Americans 12 victory points as such, and the Americans are down from 20 to 8 victory points. The Americans haven't taken any hits yet, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. This is a lot of firepower, and the foxholes really aren't very handy for the Germans to get up there. That's the big trouble. If there had been a foxholes here to lead into this one, yeah, that'd be a great thing. that there's nothing out here to help. And these ones are just spread a little bit too much as well. But if they could get up into, say, here, then they could, I don't know, it's not much good going there or there. That's why I put that bloke there to cover that off and stuff like that. So it's going to be very difficult. So it's no wonder in real life here there were a lot of Germans killed and wounded in this battle, that's for sure. So again, take care, be good, and I will catch you for the next exciting video for Scenario 25A, Fields of Fire. Bye for now.